Yahoo and welcome back to my channel, everyone. As you can see, today we are going to continue with my new series, which is called Let's Taste Japan. As you can see, today is on KitKat, Japanese flavors. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. Like I said, today we are going to taste all these different types of Japanese KitKat flavors. I have not a lot of them, but quite a few, so let's get into it. First up, I would like to tell you that I got this delicious sounding ume sake flavor. I am a huge fan of ume, which is Japanese sour plum, and of course sake. I'm an adult, I like to drink from time to time, so of course I also enjoy sake. The yellow box is also a sake flavor. It is yuzu sake. Yuzu is a Japanese lemon type, basically, which I love very much. I love yuzu. Everything yuzu is just my type of thing. So this one, like I said, is yuzu sake, which I imagine would go quite well together. So I'm interested to taste this one. If you have seen my previous video of my sakura and the little unboxing of a package which I received from my friend Momoko, you probably recognize this one, which is the otona no amasa flavor. Basically translates to sweetness for adults. And this one is the matcha flavor, which I love a lot. So I actually already know how this tastes, but for you, we are going to open it today. I also received from Momoko this sakura flavor, which is quite new for this year's springtime. Yes, I haven't opened it yet because I was waiting for a video to create for you so that you would see me taste this, basically. So this is the sakura flavor. It has sakura leaf powder kneaded into the dough of the wafers. So this will be quite interesting and probably quite delicious. Another one that I have already opened is this one, which is raspberry flavored, and those are one of my favorite KitKat flavors, I would say, because the raspberry flavor is just so good. They are very delicious. I like them very much. So we are going to try those as well. And then I have those three little guys here. These ones are actually a very special blend. They have almonds on top. The chocolate itself is matcha flavored, and then we have also some types of berries like raspberry and other types, I think, on here. I'm not sure, maybe goji or whatever. Anyways, I have had these before. They are very delicious. Anyways, I think let's just get started, open these things up and try everything out. And I will let you know how they taste. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I got a little bit of water in my sippy cups to cleanse my palate. I open everything up. And what I actually wanted to point out is that the packaging for KitKat actually changed quite a bit. The main package used to be plastic, and they changed it to paper, which I think is quite nice because it's more environmental friendly. So that's always good. What are we going to start with? I think we are going to start with these little guys. Like I said, these contain matcha chocolate and some types of berries and almond nuts. So if you're allergic to nuts, please stay away from these. In general, I enjoy the matcha flavor. In Japan, there are quite a lot of different KitKat with matcha flavor. In general, matcha can be a little bit bitter and strong flavored. So if you don't like that, you should stay away from the dark packaging because that's mostly an indicator that this is the darker type of matcha and more bitter type of matcha. So that's that. As you can probably tell, this is a light matcha colored chocolate, basically. Nice crunch to the wafer inside. So let's taste. I think the matcha taste is still very there, but it's super delicious. And I have to say the berries on top are such a nice addition to the matcha flavored chocolate, as well as the nuts. Everything is so well balanced. It's a really nice treat. And specifically if you put this in the fridge for summer with a nice cold tea, so good. I've had this so many times. It's so delicious. If you go to Japan, if you have a chance to get this, please try it out. It's very delicious. Cleansing my palate. Let's have the matcha one, the plain matcha one, in comparison. Next up. So we are going to stay in the same realm, basically. As you can see, this one has quite a similar color. So I would say the matcha amount is quite the same. Okay, the inside is basically also the same. It's kind of already melting in my fingers. Oh god, this is so good. It's still very white chocolatey flavored because there's not too much matcha inside. Together with the wafer, it's so good. I don't know what to tell you. This is so good. If you don't like the bitterness of green tea, definitely try this one out. It's so good. Like I said, you have a hint of matcha flavor. It's not too strong. It's not bitter at all. It has still quite a lot of white chocolatey flavor. The wafer is so good. Just in general, a super nice treat, specifically if you have a nice cup of tea. Try this one out. Okay guys, next up, let's try the sakura flavor. I love the packaging. It's so cute and pink, and it has sakura petals all over it and trees like that. It's just so cute. Okay, this one is quite, pink, I would say, like a rosy color. Oh, that's interesting. The wafer actually is not mixed with a dark layer, like the other one before had a dark layer in there, probably because there was more of a little bit of a chocolate in there. This one is just light. Interesting. Wow. Wow. This one actually tastes pretty sakura leafy. This is so interesting. Now I know what it tastes like. It tastes pretty cinnamony. I am actually not quite sure if the cinnamon type of flavor comes from the sakura leaf, because I kind of remember that sakura leaf also has a very specific flavor to it, and since they put like dried sakura leaf powder into the wafer, it might also be the sakura leaf and not actual cinnamon. But that's quite interesting, I have to say. It's very good. I'm kind of surprised. So definitely a recommendation from me. Next up, try the raspberry one. Wow, the raspberry flavor, like scent, is so strong with this one. I'm sorry, I think it's kind of melty. It kind of melted a little bit. The wafer inside is also light. I don't know if you can see that. And the chocolate that is inside is also light, so they probably put the same chocolate on the inside. Oh. Just as I remembered it. It's so good. It's so strongly raspberry flavored. This is so good. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. This one is also the Otonano Amasa flavor, so like sweetness for adults. I think they really knocked it out of the park with this one. It's so good. Like the balance of the flavors is so nice. It's just so good. I'm sorry. Okay, and last but not least, let's get into the sake flavored ones. First up is the ume sake KitKat. Let's see how this tastes. First of all, the sake scent is quite strong with this one, and the chocolate is actually quite yellowish, I would say. I don't know if you can see that. It's very nice. I also kind of smell like the sourness of the plum. So let's taste it. I don't really taste the plum, but I definitely taste the sake. It is not my favorite, but it is definitely delicious, of course. But I'm more into the super fruity tastes, flavors like that, you know. So I'm very, very interested about the yuzu flavor. So let's get into that. Again, I mean, it's very yellow. It's very white chocolatey. Ooh, but the scent, you can definitely smell the yuzu. Very interesting. For me, no sake flavor, but the yuzu is there, definitely. Oh, interesting. This actually tastes like yuzu. I don't taste any sake, but I can definitely taste the yuzu, the bitterness of the yuzu zest, basically. So, I wouldn't consider this a sake flavored KitKat. With this one, you can definitely taste the sake. With this one, you can definitely taste the yuzu, but not the sake. So it's quite interesting because those are kind of opposite. You can taste the yuzu in this one, but not the sake. And with this one, you can taste the sake, but not the ume, the plum, which is quite interesting. Of course, I'm not going to waste the leftovers. I'm going to eat them. And to pick my favorite, I think I would have to say the raspberry one. It's still one of my favorites. The sakura one and of course the matcha one is also very delicious, especially like I said, if you're having a nice cup of tea. Doesn't matter if it's hot tea or cold tea. It's very good. I will try to get my hands on more KitKat flavors in the future and do a part 2, 3, whatever in the future. But as of now, this is my little introduction to Japanese KitKat flavors. And I would have to say, it's just fun to try them out. I love snacks like that, especially if it's with the wafer inside. So KitKat is great for me because it's not just pure chocolate. Usually I'm not much a fan of white chocolate, but these are all white chocolate based. So because of the different flavors, I can still eat them. It's not too much for me. If you have tried any KitKat flavors from Japan that you would recommend to me, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to try all sorts of different KitKat flavors in the future. And if you enjoyed this video and if you would like to see more of Let's Taste Japan, then also leave it in the comments below. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, of course. And until the next video, that's all for today. Stay real, keep it real, and bye bye.